Hello and welcome to another 12 weeks of Christmas 2022. So if you're watching this at a different time, thanks for joining me and checking out what I have to share. My name is Barb. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. My website is right up here. You can purchase these products except for the wood crafts that I'm going to share with you at my store. Currently, the host code is the one that you see up on the screen, but if there's no host code available, I mean, it won't work after December. This one is only good for December. So, I have an ornament that we're going to create, and I want to show you how your Stampin' Up! Product can create this awesome ornament. All right, so now that you see kind of the things that we're going to be using, Crumb Cake is the ink pad that I'm using. Alphabet, the 2 and the 0, of course, for 2022. This is our Snowfall Accent Puff Paint that is currently in the holiday catalog, and I believe it's really on sale right now if you are catching this during December 2022. And then we are going to use the double oval punch, which I've used quite a few times in my videos for the 12 weeks of Christmas. These guys right here, these are wooden cups. They come with their own little strings and everything. There's 8 in a package. I got these at the Dollar Tree. These now $1.25, of course, but there are 8 in a package for $1.25. Amazing gift if you're looking for something handmade and you like to have ornaments every year. So that's what I have here. Now I also found some retired paper that I have, and it's actually really flocked. Hear that? It is flocked, and it's striped. On the other side are the little bows, and I'm going to show you how we're going to add this to our project. I've pre-punched matching coordinating paper, which is what is awesome about Stampin' Up! Products, is that everything coordinates so well. I've pre-punched this out of the large, and then we're going to use stamp on the small oval and then punch that out, and that's what I have this scrap white for right here. So let me move these things out of the way. We won't need the actual stamp set because I already have the 2 and 0 on my little blocks here. We are going to need, no, we don't need adhesive. We're going to be using glue dots and our Tombow glue, along with I like my silicone mat, so we're going to be using that. Oh, remnants of my last project. How about that? Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to get started. Now, the hardest part of this whole thing, honestly, is just tracing your piece of wood and cutting it out. So here is your woodlet, and you can do any shape, but this is going to be so cute. What I want to do, this is going to be the front. This is the front. So I'm going to be tracing here. And so this is the front of my piece. And so what I want to do is I'm going to take this piece of cardstock, let's see here, and I'm going to turn it in such a way that I can see where my top part is. But see, I'm off the edge here, so that's not going to work. So let me see if I can turn it this way. See if it will work this way. Nope. Let's try this. And of course, I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is grab my scissors, because you will need scissors. I think I'm just going to cut this piece off just like that. And then it's going to work for me. Huh. All right, so see what I'm trying to do? I want the cup, right? Sorry, it's kind of, there we go. The cup, we're going to take this, and this is going to go across there, and everything is covered. So what I'm going to do is take this and then turn this over like that, and then I did use a pencil, so I'm just going to trace my wood piece. But yeah, this is the hardest part, is tracing and cutting, and you want to make sure to trace the inside of your handle. And so there we are. I've got it traced. It does not take long to cut this out, so I will have another one ready to use. Now, what I want to tell you is when you're cutting this out, make sure that you are cutting just inside of where you drew your line. Okay? So just follow the lines right inside, and you can see this doesn't take very long. I have a ornament exchange, and I created this for my ornament exchange. So I'm excited. Every year, one of the ladies at our church hosts this ornament exchange. See how fast that is? But now you got to cut this piece out. She hosts the ornament exchange, and we get all kinds, just poking my little thing in there and then just start cutting. And so we come home with all these handmade ornaments, and that is what my tree is. It is a, there are some purchased ornaments on my tree, but every year I love putting up my tree for Christmas, and I use, or I remember everybody that I have handmade ornaments from, and I love it. So, all right, so let's get this going here. I'm almost done. All right, so that's how fast it is to cut that out. There you go. So there is the front of my cup, and it looks like I need to finish the bottom here. Oh, you know what? I did use a sanding block on this, and I did not bring that over here. But look at that. It's going to fit right on the wood, just like that, and it's going to look like it came that way. Now, there's a little edge here that is pointed, so I'm going to just round that out really quick. There we go. I have my mat right here because we need to make sure that we have glue all around the edges, because you want the edges to glue very well onto your piece of wood. So now you could put the glue on the wood if you prefer. I do this just that way I know I'm right to the edge of my paper. Sorry, I'm trying not to get out of the screen, but look at what I'm doing at the same time. Okay, so let's grab this guy, get this turned around, and let's place this down on my cup. So there's that. And the great thing about this glue is it is forgiving, and so you can slide it a little bit and get it more in place where you need it to be, cover what you need it to cover, and there you go. All right, it's glued on. Now when you turn it over, if you have a little excess like this, super easy. Just take your scissors and just go around. Okay, just go right around. And if you have some spots that look a little rough, that's why I take the sanding block and just sand those right down. Okay, almost done here. I have a little bit, but honestly I did 16 of these within just a couple hours is what I did. And I got to come around the edge here again. I'm probably getting out of the screen because I'm looking down at what I'm cutting, yeah, and instead of looking up at the screen to see, making sure that I'm staying in the camera. All right. Make sure to give me a comment and a thumbs up. If you have done homemade ornaments before, where you've done an ornament exchange, tell me about that. All right, I have this glued on here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take my puff paint. You will need a heat tool for this. You can use a hair dryer for this. It's not like embossing powder. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my puff paint and I'm just going to fill this whole piece of wood right in with this puff paint, right up to the edge. Because as it starts to dry, it shrinks away from the edge of the wood. All right. This stuff goes a long way. I did not use a whole tube for the 16, all those that I made. Now, here's another trick. If you want some to kind of come over the edge a little bit, just bring it off onto the cardstock. And you've got a little bit off onto your cardstock, okay? Or designer paper, I guess. So, I've got that there. I'm going to let it sit for a minute because it does help if it starts drying a little bit. And I need to grab the sanding block, and I have to go around my table here really quick. So while that's sitting there for a second, give me 2 seconds to grab my sanding block, because you do need a sanding block. It will make things much easier. If I can find it here. Oh my goodness, okay. All right. Crazy. So you guys will recognize the sanding block if you've been in Stampin' Up! For any time, because we used to sell these little sanding blocks, okay? So yeah, I've kept mine for a long time. So there we are. All right, so got that. We're on to the next. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and punch out one of these little ovals, just like that. And we're going to let this keep drying a little bit. We're just going to grab my Stampin' mat, because using the polymer stamps, it is good to use a mat. I got some stuff on there. With the polymer stamps, okay? I'm just going to lay this up out of the way for a second so I don't get anything on myself with that. And I'm going to use crumb cake, and we're going to stamp 2022. So I got my little 2 here, ink that up, make sure I'm in the screen, and there's my first 2. Okay, now my 0. And it is hand stamped, so it doesn't have to be perfectly, straight. And I did purposely leave, okay, so that's what it looks like, and to me that is terrible. So we're going to turn it over because I can. All right, let's ink this up again. And my problem is I need my head way up here. So there's 2. And let's do the 0 again. Okay, I can see better. Okay, this is much better. I just was way too far away to see what I was doing. Okay, there's 2 and 2. I don't know, that lighting makes it where you can't really see it. There we go. But it's even, that one's even still a little funky. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's try this. Let's, we're going to try again. Okay? So, I'm going to stamp 2. 0. Let's hope I can get these straighter, right? 2. It's a little better. And 2. All right, there we are. So let's bring this in, see if I can fit it in my oval. Look at that. It works. Okay, that one is better. I'm happier with that. Okay, but it is handmade. So, all right, there we are. Got that. Done with that. And we'll clean those in a moment. All right, let's go ahead and put this together. And since I do have my glue right here, I'm going to just go ahead and put some glue on my oval. My bottle is getting low. All right, so this is just going to go onto the other part of the punch, just like that. Okay. There we are. I think. Got that. Just like, seems like it's, the light is way too bright over on the other side. Okay, there we are. Okay, so there's our 2022. Now I also grabbed up some of the elegant faceted gems. Now there's clear and there's white. So I'm just going to take one of the clear gems, and I'm going to go ahead and take my pick tool, grab one of the large gems here, and I'm just going to put that right there, right in front. and just to have an extra little gem on there, just like that. All right, and so now let's go ahead, and since this is kind of set a little bit, can you see how it's kind of starting to dry somewhat? Just a little bit, I guess. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, so here is the loud part. We are going to go ahead and use the heat tool. And it is loud, but it'll only take a second. So here we go. So just be patient with me here, but I want to bring this up so you can see this, how this puffs up, okay? All right, so I'm just going to hold it in one spot until it starts puffing up. I want to make sure you can see it in the screen. That's what I'm trying to get just right. Okay, you can see it starting to magic here a little bit. I gotta look in the screen as I'm doing this to see if you can see how that is creating. There we go. Can you see how it's creating foamy? It's kind of foamy. There you go. It just takes a second. But once your heat tool is heat, I did all my, put my puff paint on all of my 16 ornaments that I made. And then I just heated them all up at the same time, and that way my heat tool was hot and it stayed hot, and it didn't take as long to get everything done. All right, here it goes. There it goes. Ooh, I love it. It's so exciting to watch that pop up like that. All right, so there we are. Let me see if you can, there we go. See how it's all puffed up there? So cool. Now I'm going to let that, that's going to dry and harden, but I do need my, the sanding block, and so all I'm going to do is, this one's worn out quite a bit. Let me see, let me find right there. Okay, so I'm just going to take this, and I'm just going to sand this. Sorry about the bounce. I'm trying, there we go, I'm not touching the table. But I'm just going to sand around the edges, and what this does, honestly, it kind of burnishes this into the wood. I couldn't find my other block that was newer than this one. Okay, but this one's working. Okay, see how the edge is like, it's burnished right in there. There's a piece that I didn't cut very well. Okay, turn it around this way, and let's just, I mean, it's just a matter of just swiping it on the edge, really. And you could use any designer paper that you have. Anything would look great. Okay, there we are. All right, so there is that. Let's grab some dimensionals and pop up the 2022. I'm going to take a couple dimensionals, and we're going to put this right on the front of our cup. Just like that. Okay. There we are. See, isn't that cool? Look at that. It's just so, and it's already pretty getting hard, and the more you let it sit, the harder it's going to get. Then, like, with these little guys, remember I said that it even comes with your little string here. So I'm just going to grab one of those and tie that into, well, I might grab one of them. They're in here pretty, oh, I see. It's kind of tied together. Yeah. Okay, there we go. All right, so come on, string. There's one string. All right. Okay. Now let's go ahead. So here's the deal. We have so many great products that can be used with other crafting products, and I wanted to show you how you could do that. So I'm just trying to get this through the hole. Ta-da! And then I'm just going to tie a double knot at the top, so that I have an ornament ready. Okay, but I'm not done. Probably before I put this on, I should have done my other thing. So back in the day, I've been a demonstrator for 22 years. So back in the day, we had stamps. You could, you know, customize stamps. And so I had one customized. Here's mine. And so I'm going to use the StazOn. StazOn ink is a permanent ink that works amazing on wood and vellum sheets and just non-paper, I guess. You can stamp it on paper too. But I'm going to use the StazOn, and I am going to ink this up good. Whoop. StazOn is kind of a sticky pad. And I'm going to stamp this on the back of my wood here as my creation. So there we go. Push that down. And there we are. Okay, that's going to dry. Now you saw how I did it off the side here, and that's because I didn't want to squish all my little stuff down at the top, so I was doing it onto here. But there, I have my ornament with my signature on it, with the copyright, all that good stuff. If you wanted to sell them at a craft show, that's a great, great idea. 2022, I have another ornament ready. And then here is one that I had already done. I did the 2022 a little better, but see, you can see the difference. It just depends on how you put your paper. You draw your paper on the back side on which way your cup is going to go. That one I did a little spillover. This one doesn't have it. So what do you think? If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell so that you will get a notification the next time that I upload a video. And I hope that you will maybe try to do some crafting with the puff paint and see what you think about that. See how you like that. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope to see you on one of the other videos. Give me a comment and thumbs up. I think I shared that already. It helps me tremendously. And if you'd like to purchase any product, please go to my website. I would be so grateful for that. Join me on Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook Live, Stamp with Barb Writer. I hope I will see you there. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.